Yeah, man. What's up? What's up? All right. So, you know what time it is. So, hit that sub button, hit that like button. Yo, going over to the gram and follow me, Magoo_JJ. You know, it's Magoo, man. Anyway. Well, last night's training was good. I bit my tongue during takedowns, so I'm feeling a little fucked up, you know. I tried to do the ice thing to numb my tongue, and it worked for a little while, but, you know, you can't do the ice thing forever because, you know, it's just cold and annoying. And plus, you still gotta work and talk on the phone and type shit in the computer. Oh, my goodness, the emails I was just reading. Yo. You know, I want to address something, and this has to go with training. I actually saw an email when I got to work earlier, and you know, it was just talking about just like all this ridiculousness that the mayor has going on in our city, and you know, it had to do with a little bit of everything. You know, they were talking about like Memorial Day and doing stuff for veterans, and then like what's happening with certain monies and all kind of other shit. And it got me thinking that we are in a time where people or certain groups of people cannot read the room. The world is changing. Yo, I realized that when I first started training, for instance, I didn't realize how dangerous of a world it truly is. Like, yo, you know, you always think like, well, shit, you know, I mean, the whole premise was, you know, I want to learn how to fight. I want to learn how to beat people up, you know? First, it was, I want to learn how to defend myself. Then it was, I want to fuck people up. Then it was, I'm just trying to be a better person. Because at some point, I had to read the room. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and analogize this whole experience to what I read in the emails, because it goes into this other slippery slope of a conversation that most people cannot have. Like, we just cannot have a conversation on basic shit like right and wrong. Like, for instance, men should not be in the women's bathroom. Like, but places like my job allow men to be in the women's bathroom. Now, have I seen that type of behavior here? Absolutely not. But best believe the people who support that, who out their mouth support that, are the people who aren't reading the room. Yeah. And so it's kind of weird, if you ask me. Nonetheless, I had to read the room when I first started training. I'm talking about reading the room on the world. Like, hey, you know, once you get in there and a motherfucker 20, 30 pounds lighter than you could slam you up, could box your face in, you feel me? Could pin you down to the floor. It feels way more humiliating than a person 100 pounds heavier than you doing it. Because you realize that smaller person is battle tested and they will kill you if worse comes to worse. And that is what I got from that shit. And that's why I started to take my training a little bit more serious, you feel me? And so, I had to read that room right quick. I had to understand that shit. Like, what's my limitations here? Where am I good? You know, what I need to do. And then, you know, coming in, and the best part about it was, I don't know, I've mentioned this on numerous occasions, but coming in, when I first started training, when I walked in the motherfucking gym, I was already in shape. I was just 20 pounds lighter than what I am now. Yo, guys, I was 20 pounds lighter than what I am now. Yo, that's crazy. I weighed like 148 pounds when I first started, yo. Yo, seriously, I weighed like 145, 148 pounds. Like, no cap. And now I'm like 160, 165-ish, or whatever the case. I hover. But nonetheless, I had to read that room. I had to understand, like, oh, shit. Like, I could be destroyed out here. You feel me? You know, you figure that shit out and you go along and you adjust. And what I saw yesterday was I saw the newer students where it's like some of them are in fairly good shape. I mean, when you're looking at guys like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, right? I mean, yeah, I want to say guys between the ages of like 13 and like 19, 14 and 19. When you look at these guys, you see a lot of them in decent shape. A lot of them are also in fucking terrible shape. I can see a lot of pooch bellies, which tells me that y'all motherfuckers is eating too much shit with dairy in it, which is mad weird. But, you know, in America, it's like we really have a dietary problem. Like, especially kids that go to, like, regular schools and shit. Like, if you ask me, they're the most unhealthy kids. Like, oh, yeah, if your child goes to a regular public school or some shit, like, best believe they aren't eating good food. Yeah. But you see a lot of strong, young, healthy guys. And you see these guys really, really working and understanding. Like, you see them starting to get that feel for what they're doing. And they're starting to read that room. And they're starting to say, yeah, this is terrible. You feel me? Like, you see it. And that's what I like right there. That is what I am extremely pleased with. Now, if the idiots in the real world outside the mat can just start doing that, then maybe we can have a decent functioning world again. You know what I'm saying? But who cares about them? We're talking about us, martial artists, people who are working to be better. Because clearly we don't have anyone else working to be better. It's just us working to be better. So we've read the room. And that shit is power. That information is power right there. Word. And I want you, martial artists, you listening, to read the room. Now, granted, okay, if maybe you're a guy, you've been training for quite a while. When I say a while, I mean longer than me. You've already read the room 1,000,000 times over. As a matter of fact, you could damn near prophesize what's going to happen in the room. But the whole thing about it is that for you who hasn't started yet, or you're considering starting, or you just started and you're not too sure, I want you to read the room. This is going to help your brain. You feel me? Because I'm telling you, when you know shit, when you have information, you are so at ease. And I want you guys to be at ease. Because I'm telling you, I seen it yesterday. They were all at ease. You know? They're fine. Even when they get their ass kicked. It doesn't seem like a big deal when they get submitted. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem like a big deal when they get taken down, when they start to fail. It doesn't seem that way. Because guys are hungry and they've read the room. And that was some shit that I picked up on. I'm like, okay, I could really deal with these guys, you know? Sometimes I could push them a little harder. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you guys want to roll around in here? Hi, all right, start jogging. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this striking today? Nope. I just want to see you jog. You guys in here, y'all want to break a sweat? Bet. Then it's time to go to drills. Oh, that's what I'm telling you. I want you to save some energy for class. Read the room, guys. I love it, man. I love it. Yo. But nonetheless, great training. And we getting back into the swing of things. All right. So go ahead, hit that sub button, hit that like button, and I'm going to holler at you guys, man. Oos.